under the new tax regime. Swateku takes the reports.
Oyedele explained that no fewer than 98% of workers will benefit from the reform, which is designed to ease the burden on low-income earners while ensuring fairness in the system. He noted that anyone earning the current national minimum wage of 70,000 naira will completely be exempted, while higher earners will contribute proportionately to strengthen government revenue. Speaking at the First Bank SME Connect webinar, Oyedele highlighted that the reform will not only protect vulnerable workers, but also create a more equitable tax structure. He stressed that the changes are part of a broader fiscal reforms aimed at boosting economic growth, supporting small businesses, and ensuring that Nigeria's tax system reflects modern realities.
The Nigeria Revenue Service (NRS), formerly Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS), has assured Nigerian investors that the new tax reforms under the Nigeria Tax Act 2025 will protect historical gains and encourage long-term market participation. Gains on shares acquired before December 31st, 2025 are exempt from capital gains tax (CGT), and investors who will invest sale proceeds into Nigerian companies within 12 months will also enjoy full exemption. The reforms aim to prevent panic selling, protect investors, and keep capital circulating within the markets. Uli Shija reports.
Under the new provisions, the cost base of existing shareholdings will be reset to the higher of the original acquisition cost or the December 31st, 2025 closing price, ensuring that historical gains are not unfairly taxed. Smaller transactions, disposals under 150 million naira or gains below 10 million naira, as well as institutional investors such as pension funds and real estate investment trusts remain fully protected. The service says these measures are intended to harmonize the tax system, promote fairness, and strengthen confidence in Nigeria's equities. The reforms also introduce a 12-month reinvestment window to encourage productive portfolio reallocation rather than sudden exits. Combined with progressive rates, targeted exemptions, and grandfathering of pre-2026 gains, the policy seeks to deepen the capital market, reduce investment risk, and foster a transparent, predictable, and investor-friendly tax environment that supports long-term economic growth.
The Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms has clarified that tax identification numbers (TINs) are only required for bank accounts used for business, not strictly for personal accounts. Chairman Taiwo Oyedele warned that authorities can detect business activity in personal accounts through bank verification numbers (BVNs), and non-compliance could trigger enforcement. Swateku has the reports.
In a significant clarification on Nigeria's ongoing tax reforms, financial expert Taiwo Oyedele has stated that a tax identification number or TIN is not mandatory for bank accounts used solely for personal purposes. According to Oyedele, the requirement for a TIN only applies to accounts that are used for business-related activities, such as receiving payments from customers, paying suppliers, or other commercial transactions. This means that ordinary savings and personal current accounts will not be affected. The federal government will rely on bank verification number BVN system to monitor accounts and ensure that personal accounts are not being used for business purposes without proper tax registration. Oyedele emphasized that the measure is intended to simplify banking for individuals, reduce bureaucratic hurdles, and ensure that only business-related financial activities are properly taxed. This clarification comes amid growing public concerns that stricter tax enforcement might affect personal bank accounts, reassuring citizens that their personal finances remain unaffected.
And that ends the news. Let's join Arabian Nigerian Care Atuyebi for our exclusive interview segments. Welcome back to Tax File Special. This is our exclusive interview segment where we bring you insights from the experts shaping tax policy and administration in Nigeria. Today, we have a very special guest, the Auditor General for the Federation,
Dr. Shaka Kayito Shira. Get ready for an enlightening conversation packed with expert perspectives on tax administration, compliance, and policy direction. Let's get started. Thank you so much for having us, sir.
Thank you.
And so I'll go ahead with the questions. So how does the Office of the Auditor General contribute to ensuring that revenue, especially tax revenue, is fully accounted for and utilized for national development?
Thank you for that question. And every government depends on its revenue, both oil and non-oil, to fund its activities. That is why, for the benefit of the people, the Office of the Auditor General for the Federation play a critical role in ensuring revenue accountability, particularly in the areas of tax revenue. Our contribution begins with the independent audit of NGAs, including Federal Inland Revenue Services. We assess the systems, controls in place, and issue audit queries where irregularities are detected, especially on revenue identification, revenue assessment, revenue collection, revenue accounting, revenue leakages, revenue underreporting, and revenue non-remittances. Through our audit report, we highlight revenue shortfalls, unauthorized deductions, and recommend corrective measures. Additionally, we conduct periodic and forensic audits that track compliance with relevant tax laws, ensuring that all revenue due to the government is properly collected and remitted into the Federation account or consolidated revenue fund, as the case may be. The Auditor General also carry out performance audits to evaluate whether collected revenue are efficiently and effectively utilized for developmental purposes, providing transparent and evidence-based audit findings. We support legislative oversight, strengthening public financial management to promote accountability and national development.
Thank you so much, sir. And we want to talk about audit and tax compliance. In what ways can audit findings help improve tax compliance and revenue performance across ministries, departments, agencies, NGOs, and revenue earning institutions in the nation?
Audit findings are powerful tools for improving tax compliance and enhancing revenue performance across NGOs. Revenue generating agencies, by identifying the gaps in internal control, non-compliance with tax laws, instances of underreporting, non-remittance of taxes, our audit also provides factual basis for corrective action. For instance, when our audits uncover irregularities in tax deductions at source or failure to remit statutory revenue, we issue audit queries and recommendations that prompt NGAs to strengthen compliance mechanism. Furthermore, audit reports highlight system weaknesses, recommend policies reform that enhance transparency and accountability in revenue administration. These findings conveyed to oversight bodies such as the National Assembly, that thereby encouraging institutional reforms and enforcing action by holding accounting officers accountable for fostering a culture of compliance. our audit contributes to minimize revenue leakages, improve taxpayers' confidence, and ultimately boosting government revenue for national development.
So we are looking at how you strengthen internal controls, huh? And what are some of the key internal control weaknesses that affect tax revenue collection, and how can they be addressed?
Some of the key internal control weaknesses affecting tax collection include lack of effective monitoring of revenue-generating activities, weak enforcement of tax laws, inadequate segregation of duties, the absence of robust automated system for tracking payments and remittances. These weaknesses often lead to revenue leakages, non-remittance of collected taxes, and opportunity for fraud or manipulations. To address these challenges, NDAs and revenue-generating agencies must strengthen their internal control framework by implementing robust accounting system, automating revenue processes, and ensuring regular reconciliation of tax collections with remittances, strengthening oversight through internal audit units. Ensuring proper documentation and reporting are also critical. Additionally, capacity building and continual training for revenue officers, strict enforcement of sanctions for non-compliance will go a long way in improving transparency, accountability, and overall tax revenue performance.
Okay, so you talk about leakages in the system, which will also take us to the leakages, especially in the public sector. So, how is the office working to identify and reduce revenue leakages in the public sector, and particularly in relation to taxes and other government revenue?
The Office of Auditor General for the Federation is actively working to identify and reduce revenue through a combination of rigorous audits, data-driven risk assessment, continuous engagement with revenue-generating agencies. Our audit focus on areas prone to leakages such as tax identification, tax assessment, tax collection, tax accounting, tax remittance, and tax exemptions. We scrutinize revenue records, detect instances of underreporting, unauthorized waivers, delay or incomplete remittances to the Federation account or the CRF. We also conduct special audits and forensic review where red flags are identified, particularly in sectors such as oil and gas. That's where we always have a lot of problems. Import duties and VAT. In addition, we cooperate with key institutions to identify revenue inflows and plug gaps. Our recommendations are aimed at tightening internal control, improving compliance monitoring, strengthening the legal framework to ensure sanctions for defaulters. Through this effort, we are helping to enhance revenue transparency and secure government income for national development. Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, how does the Auditor General's Office collaborate with FIRS to enhance transparency and accountability in tax administration in Nigeria?
The Office of Auditor General for the Federation maintained a collaborative relationship with the Federal Inland Revenue Service to enhance transparency and accountability in tax administration. This collaboration is primarily achieved through regular audits of FIRS operations, where we examine processes relating to tax assessment, tax collection, waivers, remittances to the Federation account or CRF. Our audit teams engages with FIRS officials to assess regular records, review tax files, assess the effectiveness of internal control and compliance with tax laws. We also share audit findings and recommendations with the service to address identified weaknesses, improve tax collection process, promote stronger internal accountability mechanism. In addition, we participate in interagency platforms that focus on public financial management reforms, where we provide insight and audit observation to inform policy decisions. This collaborative approach helps to ensure that tax revenue is properly accounted for, leakages are reduced, and public trust in the tax system is strengthened.
Looking at the recent development in the FIRS, they have been using a lot of technology software, AI-driven tax administration, technology in public sector audits, as we know that we live in a digital age. How is technology being deployed to strengthen audits of revenue-generating agencies and improve accountability for tax collection?
Technology plays a vital role in enhancing effectiveness of audits of revenue-generating agencies and improving accountability for tax collection at the Office of Auditor General for the Federation. We are increasingly leveraging on digital tools to conduct more precise, timely, and risk-based audits. The Office has introduced an audit software known as Nigerian Side Enhancement Audit Tool, that's NSET, which is part of the ongoing reforms. The purpose is to ensure proper documentations of audit procedures and maintenance of quality audit evidence. With the advent of big data, the Office is currently in the process of activating the licenses of Interactive Data Extractive and Analysis ID software, which will also aid the audit process in ascertaining that the right assessments are being carried out. Despite funding constraints that the Office is faced with, we see investment in technology as the way to go for the nation. These tools help us to detect anomalies, identify patterns of revenue leakages, and verify the accuracy of tax assessment and remittances. Furthermore, ongoing training in audit technology ensure that our teams are equipped to audit complex, digitalized revenue system effectively. The Office will continue to enhance its use of IT tools while recommending same to revenue generating agencies.
That's quite exciting because there's nothing we can do these days without the application of technology. So why is it important for citizens and corporations to see the link between tax payments, audit, and the delivery of public services?
Yeah, the International Organization of Supreme Auditing Society, Principle 12. The value and benefit of Supreme Audit institutions making a difference to the lives of citizens shows that auditing of government and public sector entities has a positive impact on trust in society because it focuses the minds of the custodian of public resources on how well they use these resources. It is therefore essential for citizens and corporations to understand the connection between tax payments, audits, and delivery of public services because this awareness strengthens trust in government and promotes accountability. Taxes are the primary source of government revenue used to fund infrastructure, education, health, security. When audits are conducted and findings are transparently reported. They serve as a check to ensure that public funds, including tax revenue, are used essentially, legally, and for their intended purpose. By seeing how audit exposes misuse or mismanagement of funds and lead to corrective action, this transparency encourages voluntary tax compliance and active civil participation. For NDS, it builds confidence in a fair and accountable fiscal environment. Ultimately, the audit function helps bridge the gap between tax collection and service delivery, reinforcing the social contract between the government and the people and supporting sustainable national building.
So thank you so much, sir, for that. At the end of the day, we are all here to build a nation. So which will take me to the final question and the main people now. Our message to the internal and the external stakeholders. Sir, what message would you like to share with taxpayers, public servants, and the private sector on the importance of accountability in safeguarding the nation's revenue?
To esteemed taxpayers, dedicated public servants, and valued partners in private sector, I wish to emphasize that accountability is not just a principle. It is a shared responsibility, essentially to safeguarding Nigerian revenue and securing our nation's future. Every naira generated through taxes and other government income must be protected, properly accounted for, and transparently utilized to deliver quality public service and drive national development. Taxpayers must continue to fulfill their civic obligation, knowing that their contribution matters. Public servants must uphold the highest standard of integrity and ensure that public funds are managed prudently and in accordance with the law. The private sector, as a key driver of economic activities, must demonstrate full compliance and support systems that promote transparency.
Indeed, it was a valuable conversation with the Auditor General for the Federation. We hope we have gained useful insights into how taxes are managed, how compliance is enforced, and how these areas are evolving with the economy. A big thank you to our guests for joining us and sharing such valuable insights. We hope you found the conversation as inspiring as we did. See you next time.
Truly illuminating conversation. We hope this special edition has not only informed you, but also inspired new thoughts and possibilities. At TaxFile, we remain committed to bringing you credible news, thoughtful analysis, and meaningful conversations that deepen your appreciation of taxation and its role in national progress. Join us again for another episode designed to enlighten, educate, and empower. Until next time, I am Noe Bala Hassan saying thank you for watching.